Hello everyone. I know it's been a while. Lots of things going on. Went on vacation right after I started this one, and now we're doing renovations. So lots of stuff happening. Plus a grandbaby was born in there too. So I've been really busy. So I've been a bit absent for the last few months. But this project I started before vacation, and I posted pictures of suitcase that I made for it, and this is the suitcase. As you can see, it says Nightingale on there, so that's the first hint of what it's about. And I made this suitcase from scratch myself, and it's full. It's very full, and it's a good weight. So let's open the suitcase. Probably just messed everything up inside. Anyway, we'll see what's inside. There, lots of stuff. So in here is just some extra pieces of paper to work with. Yeah, I did mess up some things. That's okay. So the premise of this story and this journal is to tell the story of Florence Nightingale, and when she went off to the Crimean War. And she would have taken, things with her, and that's where she became famous from that point on. So one of the things she would have taken with her that I have included in here is a writing kit. This writing kit has a pen, a feathered pen, thing for wax, the ink, and there's the wax there on a stand. So, and then it also came with some paper and an envelope, so that is in there. One thing, this is also a key that this is a real iron key, and I just wrote down Westminster Bridge Road, South Bank, London, because that's where she opened her hospital when she came back from the Crimean War. And I went, while I was in London, I went to, this is like over a year ago now, I went to the museum dedicated to her, and I got all these different cards to put in with the kit within the journal that are all different points of her life and drawings. This is from the stained glass window for her. It's a postcard. And then there's another card here, Florence Nightingale's London, so you'd see what London looked like at her time, during her time. These 3 bottles, because she would have brought some of her own different things for ailments and stuff. These are actually vintage bottles from the Victorian time with, these came separately, but I got these original labels here as well. That would have been around that time as well. So those are attached to the bottles. I couldn't put anything in the bottles because if I ship overseas, that's a problem. But the bottles, so I made little caps for them that stay in. I didn't make them so they can come out. So those are just a little something. I mean, you could break them off if you want and you want to use them. You can do that. There's the journal. And here is another box that I made to go in the suitcase. And it holds, oops, slid up a bit. It holds the chatelaine that I made for her. It's got a velvet in the bottom. The chatelaine has a pair of scissors. Oops, this one got tangled a little bit. Because she is very devout, there is a cross on here, as well as a little small Bible verse. Yeah, made here. There is a stopwatch, or sorry, pocket watch. I have not started it. It's still in the off position, so it does open. There we go. So that's there, because she would have a pocket watch. A key, and then this has charcoal in it that you can put an essence in there for scent. And as the the wards, especially at the Crimean War and everything, it would have really smelled very badly. So she would have definitely had a peppermint oil or something with her so that she would have to smell everything. But so, and that all fits in this box that I made for it. And then this is the suitcase. I lined it. This is fabric that I lined it with. I'll put that over there. And here is the journal I made. So lots of lace. Like she wasn't a frilly woman. She's a very sensible woman, even though she was very well off. She kept her life very, very simple and not extravagant. But I wanted to add some frilly stuff to it because I thought it would be nice. And this is a cut on the bias, so it's nice and you can see that what it does, it makes it really fluffy there. So lots of trims in here and that I have in my stash from Sheila at Bohodaydreams. And in the first pocket here we have, well, she did take the train a lot, so I put some faux train tickets in there. This is a postcard that shows St. Thomas's Hospital. That is the hospital that she ran. She built, worked, whatever, to have after she came back from the Crimean War. This is the pledge, the Nightingale pledge that someone would take to become a nurse. She was actually a better administrator than nurse, but she was the one who started organizing and making it so, and she realized that the big thing about nursing was to keep everything clean. When she went to Crimea, they didn't really want her there. The military officers there did not want her there, and so her and her team of nurses were kind of restricted. So the reason they called her the lady with the lamp is because they would only let her come out when they were gone during the day to see the and tend to the people who were injured. So that's why she had the lamp with her all the time to go and see the injured like that. And so she was very, very particular about, she realized that keeping the area clean, because when she got there, it was infested with rats and all kinds of things. People, the death rates were really high, and she realized that if just by cleaning, it would made a huge difference, and the survival rate went up quite a bit. So that was what she initiated and started with. This is from a kit that I bought, a nursing digital kit. So it's a page there. That was in that. And this is part of that kit. I will put a link to that kit down below. So as you can see, like I said, I put lots of little ruffles and stuff on it. This is to represent a charm to represent her watch, and a waltz. Lots of different papers. I got some papers that have pictures of the body. She was very interested in the injuries and how they happened. Then these are ones I had done a journal before. For one of my first ones I ever made was Florence Nightingale, and it did not turn out well. So I've been wanting to. This is it. It did not turn out well. It got all warped and everything else. So I've been wanting to redo it for a long time. So this is my redo, and all the pockets and stuff, lots of things to write on, little notes. So it's a very, very full journal. Lots of different papers, and this is from that digital kit. This is a page from an 1880s book that I have. She traveled a lot, and the reason her name is Florence is because she was born in Florence, Italy, and her parents traveled a lot, and so she learned many different languages as well. I know she knew German, not too sure about Italian. That wouldn't surprise me if she knew that as well. So this is again the digital kit. Lots of pockets with more things in it to journal on. There's that page. I believe that's Italian. It doesn't have the year on it, but it came from a packet of stuff that I got from the 1800s. And then there's some tags here. Another faux ticket. And a little velvet trim there. Again, more tags. There's lots of tags and anatomy pieces and, you know, just things that I tea-dyed and you can write on. And some more trim from Sheila. It's very, very pretty. So lots of pieces here to write on and journal on. Another little charm, a key. And then this charm said, she believed she could, so she did, which really is Florence Nightingale. She really did believe that she could do what she did, and she did. She made a huge difference. She dyed papers and lots of different papers, and this is just a little nursing charm that I had, that I added to it. And again, more tags and things to write on. And there's some old paper I had that's already naturally aged. Another old page, another tag, some anatomy on it. And there's another little teapot charm because, well, she's British, she would have tea. And she never married. She did have someone that she cared for very much, but they never did marry. She was just very preoccupied with the nursing, and it just never happened. So lots more pieces of paper with anatomy stuff on it and other tags. Beautiful pocket. And I decided to leave the sewing very noticeable because to me it looked like stitches that you could get on the body. Lots of fabric. And so this is in here. This I found at a sale here, an antique place here, and it is a bill from 1965 in August, the British American Hospital Association in Madrid, and it's just a bill from the hospital for somebody's treatment. And anyway, it came up to 2,000, almost 2,000, whatever the money was at that time. So that's in there. I put that under there. I thought it would be an interesting piece to put in here. And this little turquoise turtle is here because she had a pet turtle that she really loved for a very long time. She also had a pet owl, which is represented by this charm. I forgot to mention that. Anyways, a little box turtle that she loved and she had for a long time as a pet. And some more of that digital kit. Some more old vintage paper. Flip out here. And this is just tea dye and I put like a placemat thing on top and it left that impression. And this looks like it's a digital that looks like it's got a bill, accounting page on it. All right, some black lace. And then in here are some more graphic photos of injuries and stuff and the way they would have done the surgeries. And then this is another photo or anatomy shot. The face. Again, more tags. This is the man who, you know, for many, many years courted her. They didn't end up marrying, but, you know, it is believed that he, you know, they did love each other. She was just very preoccupied with, you know, getting the hospital started and doing the nursing. And then there's some tags here. Vintage papers. And then the back, another cross, because, you know, it was very, very important to her. And some more tags and cards to journal on. And that's it. As you can see, she's fluffy there and fluffy there. So she's a nice, pretty journal, I think. Done in, you know, darker colors that she would have worn. Oh, I just broke that, so I'm going to have to repair that. And I will do that. And anyway, so that's the Florence Nightingale journal, and I hope everyone's having a good day, and take care of yourself. I've got some big changes coming up in the shop. Because with this tariff business going on, my sales are low, understandably, because it's hard to spend money right now with everything going on. But I'm still creating and still making things, even though they're, you know, things aren't selling as well as they used to. So I'm also going to look at making traditional bound books to put in local shops to make some money that way as well, because I finished my level 3 bookbinding course through the local guild. So that's going on as well. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm coming up on 2,000, and when I hit 2,000, I will definitely do a giveaway. Take care, everybody, and I hope you're having a lovely summer. Thank you.